Hello and welcome to Big Scott 35 Saturday Chat. A little late in the day. Been off for a few weeks trying to get caught up on some things, doing some new things here. Have got a new flag in, not change them around. I do have a Cowboys one as well. I forgot about. So now that my Mets pretty much are done for a year, I know they're playing the Phillies this weekend. Ed and Mike have been texting me a little bit. You know, I told them, that the MLB had a good idea when they, made the schedule, but didn't work out as well as they thought. Uh, let's see. So the week there was Sunday night, great conversation. Uh, we had Carlos on. We went in a little bit. I mean, we like the wrestling cards. I know it's not exciting to a lot of people, but it was more about fanatics and just and Panini losing something else to fanatics basically earlier than you know than the contract said, and just trying to my whole thing is like Panini's got a court case of you know fanatics involvement, and it's just to me as a layman, it's hard for me to not see that uh, as an issue. But you know, I don't care really. I just want cards. I want them done well. Uh, I thought Panini was actually doing well with wrestling. They were probably doing better with wrestling than they were the other stuff. Carlos pointed out they must have a wrestling fan that's actually in charge of that, um, because it would be done very, very well. Uh, but they're really in the infancy of them doing it, so they had a lot to work with, brand new stuff. Ooh, thank you, camera, for jumping in and out of focus there. I know I made a sudden movement for a big guy. Let's see. So that was, we talked about other stuff as well, just chit chatting. Mike got on and we asked him some stuff about grading, the grading world. Uh, so, about basically, SGC, they changed their prices. I keep hearing, oh, they're changing their prices to get more in comparable to PSA, but I don't think they look at PSA. I think they're looking at what they're getting in, and if they, hey, we can get more at this price and make more money. You have to find that happy medium where you get more in to make up, $5 a card or $3 a card. How many more cards do you need to get in to make more money? Uh, that's the thing they have to look at. And I don't think they look at PSA. I don't even think they look at CGC numbers. Uh, I think they're trying to figure out if we do what we're supposed to do, then we're going to get what we're going to get. Um, so that was the other thing we were talking about. Let's see. So Monday, me and my dad had supposed to be Monday. Man, for some reason, so I was doing Microsoft on, it just came editing that came with my computer. All of a sudden, update. Guess what? They took it away, and now I'm at Clip Clip Chimp Clip Champ. I don't know what it's called. It's another free service. I like it. Till then, I'm still playing with it, learning stuff. I do Adobe for my thumbnails, uh, but uh, for some reason it would not upload, and it took me forever. Finally, I just went into StreamYard and I just deleted everything except for the StreamYard and uploaded that again, and then it finally did it. I have no idea what was going on. Something didn't like something. That's all I know. So I didn't get out till Tuesday to make it a short story, I guess. Uh, Feats going on. Great things this year. I brought up Corbin Carroll, Cunha, just greatness all around. Talking about Corbin Carroll might be one of the guys that is in this generation that if he keeps going the way he's going without injury, we're going to see him in the Hall, 20 years from now. I really think so. Well, somebody will see him up 20 years from now. I probably won't. But anyway, hopefully I will and know what's going on. But anyway, I think that's a guy. That's a dude, however you want to put it. He's got 4 to 5 tools. Arm strength is not one of his things, but everything else he has. Let's see. Then Wednesday showed pickups. A lot of my last couple of eBay purchases I've made. Poor packaging on the one that I got last auto. Still looking at stuff. I'm still putting them on my watch list. I don't go on very often. Mike sent me a taco refractor today, which $700. $700 was the bid or starting bid. I didn't look at it very long. But I can tell you, I'm not paying more for a 2020. I don't care what it is. Number 2, what's on it? It's more than his rookie card. Just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Taco refractor. I mean, it made it fun on the secondary market, I guess. Made some, some stirred up some people the way they were talking about the product. Got people talking about it, a little excitement, which is good. I don't know if you need that for Topps Chrome, but good excitement, fun. I don't really. Has anybody really know why they came out with that? I don't really get it, but there it is in a nutshell. Let's see, what's the other? What else? So that was it for Wednesday. Basically, Met stuff. A lot of Pete Alonso. My rookies, Alvarez, Senga. Love Senga this year. Gosh, I hope he gets some votes. I know Corbin Carroll's going to win it, but in my mind, he might be the second best in the National League. And he should get some Cy Young talk, too, even though he's playing on a bad team. I mean, the second pitcher in Mets history to get 200 strikeouts. Second, to Dwight Gooden. I mean, that's not a bad guy to be second to. He does walk quite a few, but I think he got that under control now. I think he got used to American style baseball early and the umpiring, and he moved on. We'll get to no Nerdy Thursday. Didn't really have anything. I still need to catch up on Asuka. I'm trying to not see things. But yeah, I need to watch that. Even I want to catch up on Walking Dead. I haven't watched any of that. Man, the new stuff, Fear, and the new couple of shows they got. I guess I haven't been hyped about it. Haven't seen a lot. Haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. So, but for each his own. And then Saturday, man, this is my first day off in 3 weeks. By choice. We work weekends. They're very, you have a weekend come up. I worked a couple. Uh, but usually somebody else will work it. Somebody's always hungry or thirsty. Uh, but I'm saving up, trying to make that get ready for next year. Also have a trip in 20 days to Cooperstown. Put some money away for that, uh, and also still paying off the national trip. Not much, but did spend a little bit more than I thought I would. Uh, just this is what not a lot. Didn't kill myself, but I don't want to be in debt. So I'm going to work as much as I can this year. We only work a few hours on the weekends, but I've been a little lost today, lost track of time and everything. So that brings me to, uh, yeah, well, that was last Saturday. This is this Saturday, right? So this Saturday, we lost a very important person to the baseball world this week. And I just want to show, I don't have a lot of cards of him, Brooks Robinson, but I have some, and I have a story to tell with that. And let's take a look at my Brooks Robinson collection. Okay, I got a new setup here. Hope everybody bear with me. Hopefully, we can get through this with a little to no hiccups. Uh, like I said, my Brooks Robinson first starting off in my book. I don't have very many of his playing days, so most of these are going to be like replicas or throwbacks. Trying to do the best I can with showing off. I have yet to see somebody. I guess a high overhead would probably be better, but I got with only what I work with. I don't have the whole rig. I don't have Jeff Wilson money. Uh, so just a few cards here. Just when I get Brooks Robinson, I don't really buy him. Go out of my way to buy Brooks Robinson, but when I pull them out of packs, I hang on to them. Every once in a while, I'll pick them up in an auction or something if I come or a value box. I'll show you. I have one for grading that's in a value box that got sent back trimmed from when I was a kid. Really love those out the Ginters there. Gypsy Queen. I mean, he just looked like a ball player, didn't he? I mean, I'll talk about him a little bit more. Didn't really see him as a kid. I was just a little baby. But my dad talks about it. We one of the best third baseman ever. We grew up in Central Virginia. Baltimore was our first cable. He was one of the in studio announcers after games, before games. Uh, he's always been a great ambassador for the Baltimore Orioles, Baltimore City, the game, Major League Baseball. This is a great stadium club. Alan and Ginter, just great. I love the old style uniform here. Uh, I love the 74, of course. Just just an amazing ball player. Uh, you know, but everybody must pass, and it's always good to just take a few minutes and reflect on them, how they impacted you, which I will do. I keep telling you, I've told the story a few times, and I will tell it again here in a minute. Uh, love this orange uni. I ended up buying one from Mike for like pennies on the dollar. Then I ended up opening a couple packs and getting them. It just seemed like something. Uh, just green Cooperstown, Atomic, Panini, another Allen Ginter X. So there you have it for that. It's just great. I'm going to use this as a background for a couple of more. Now this is one I couldn't fit in a page, so I just keep it in a top loader. Sorry about that. I forget that you can still see me. So I have one on my shelf that I wanted to share with you. Now this one I bought as a kid out of a bargain bin. It's the 64, right? It won't, trying to see it. I don't want to get a wrong date for the vintage heads, man. That'd be my butt. Yeah, 64, 4.5. Trying to see the back of it. Oh, 69. Sorry. The 9 looked like a 4. That's it. Well, look, I would have had 8,000 vintage heads yelling at me. Scott doesn't. You're right. Scott doesn't. Uh, 4.5. And like I said, this was one as a kid I pulled out of at my card shop, which was also mainly a used jewelry store, um, pawn shop type of deal, with coins and everything else. And then we got a real one later. But that was my first, and it was in this old, like house, 2-story house on the second floor. We walked up the steps, you thought you were gonna fall through. Uh, this one here, I did buy from Micah, Brooks Robinson, Jim Palmer duel. Thank you, Mike, for that. And this one here, this is the one that I tell a story about. So uh, this is an in-person Brooks Robinson. I should have got it. I kept forgetting. Mike, if you do another PSA DNA, let me know so I can send this one out. Uh, a When I was like 10 years old, he came. We have a big tournament in my city for surrounding area. All over teams from all over Virginia would come. Called it big tournament, put on by our local Optimus Club. Uh, and I can't remember if he was invited. I know every once in a while they would invite, like Johnny Grubb played in it as a kid. He played Major League Baseball. He came a couple of times and autographed. I never got his autograph. I didn't know who he was as a little kid, the name, but as I got older, of course, I know who he is. I have cards of him. It's in my university, in my state of Virginia. People from Virginia book I have that play sports are just famous. I have governors and everything else in there. Uh, but so, I'll use my words here in a minute. But he was there, and I knew who he. At 10 years old, I knew who Brooks Robinson was. I mean, you're living in Virginia, you know who Brooks Robinson was. You still saw highlights of him, things like that. Even then, I lived like 6 blocks from the ballpark. It was like Saturday afternoon, so at this tournament on Saturday, like most tournaments even now, they played all day. So I jumped on my bike, rode home, pulled this card out. My dad's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Brooks Robinson's autographing at the stadium, Shepherd Stadium." If you watch me and my dad on on Mondays, at the end, the picture you see is the stadium there. And so I jumped back on my bike and rode up there. My dad drove up there just because he wanted to see Brooks Robinson. And I got an autograph. And he stayed there until he signed everybody, kids, anybody that had anything, he signed it. Uh, you know, so I thought this was really cool. I would like to have Ron Santo autograph as well on there, but Brooks Robinson to me means a lot. You know, he sat there, answered questions, took his time with, especially the kids, uh, and the place. It was nuts that day with him there, just having a legend and him taking the time. And this tournament, when I was a kid, was huge. Everybody in our town would go in the surrounding area. I mean, it was. We have a wooden bat league now that have 400 people a night at that stadium to watch a wooden bat league. They probably had a couple hundred eat at all the games. At my people in my neighborhood did not miss games. You went, we all sat in the same seats. And, uh, just a good time, and that's a memory of Brooks Robinson. Um, he was bigger than the game. He was an ambassador of the game. Somebody that loves the game like me. Uh, was a special person in my life because he still talked about the game up until his passing. He was still be on TV shows. Just loved the game, and he wasn't one to sit there and mock how the guys play now compared to when he played and all that stuff. You know, and I mean, I have Jim Palmer autograph. Palmer same way. He's still doing Orioles game to this day. He doesn't do as many as he used to, and he seems like he gets sick a lot. Uh, I know he was battling COVID for a while this year during the season. Uh, those guys. You lived in our area of Virginia. That was the team. We before there were super stations, we had WDCA watching Baltimore Orioles games. And then, I mean, around that time, they were good. I mean, you had Cal Ripken, uh, that 80, 81, they were really, really good. And then the Superstations came, and we had the Braves, which our AAA team in Richmond was their AAA team, Richmond. So a lot of people in that part of Virginia love the Braves because of that. But to me, the Orioles were always, that was my first love. Uh, kind of ran away with a mistress called the Mets. First it was the Expos, and then it was the Mets. And I haven't left the Mets since. Even though they want me to leave, it seems like. But no, this year was a learning experience, and hopefully we'll move on from that. But we'll get you back to Scott in the studio. Back to you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, that was my presentation of what few Brooks Robinson cards I have in my collection. Never a targeted PC, but one I never traded as a kid. You got it in a pack, you held on to it. Uh, I was heavy in the late 70s and 80s collecting. That's why I don't have a lot. When you see like 71, the few that I have, I think only one I pulled, pack pulled. Both of them, when I look at playing days, pretty much all of them are value boxes or just got them on the cheap. Um, So, I only have a couple 71, 75. I do have one that I'm sitting in to be, I'm trying to get graded. We'll see what happens. It's been sent back to me before as trimmed. I've measured it or altered. So I don't know if it's too thin or whatever. You know how those cards are. I don't want to say what year and guess again. I don't want all the vintage guys coming after me. So I'll be wrong, very wrong, just like the card I showed. 69, 69. I should have known that. But anyway, uh, this week, tomorrow night on my Monday show or Sunday night show, hopefully I'll have a nice group of guests for a roundtable discussion on the playoffs, talking about the players. So we might run a little long again tomorrow night, but we'll also talk about not only, and it'll be at 9:00 again because that's going to be I think that's going to be my new time, unless I need to work with guests. I'm flexible. So if want to hear about that, affecting the hobby, who we're looking to click in the playoffs, who's going to get some hobby love in the playoffs. I really want to talk to, because I know before some pitchers got some, a little bump during it. Let's see what happens this year. And, because their pitchers are players too. Almost like field goal kickers. Pitchers are players too. So kind of waiting to see what happens there. Just how every people are going to react to it. So till then, please tune in. Have your questions ready or statements. Tell us we're ridiculous. I think I think it's going to be Maiko, Ed. I invited Purple GT. I got a JD because I wanted the Braves, Phillies. I was trying to figure out, some fans of other teams that would be in it, and just people that I talk to or I have talked to about baseball on a day-to-day basis, or that I've heard them talk about it, at least have an understanding of what's going on with the game, and are interested in the playoffs. That just don't shut down because football is starting. This is an exciting time with football, and baseball going, and you'll have hockey starting next week. I know that's not a huge thing, but for a lot of us, busy, and it sucks because I work second shift, so I'm doing a lot of phone checking on my downtime, trying to find out what's going on in those games. So tomorrow night, like, share, tell a friend, and welcome to my new subscribers. Please tune in Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for Let's Talk. See ya.